One day, these two numbers, 248 and 492, were playing with each other. Suddenly, it occurred to them that who is our highest common factor? So, they wanted to find out their highest common factor. That is, they wanted to find out the highest common factor of 248 and 492. So they started finding out their prime factors. They wanted to find out their HCF using the prime factorization method. But by the time they could find out their prime factors, they were really very tired because they had lots of prime factors. So they wanted to find out some other way to calculate their HCF. 248 asked 492 how to do this. How can we do this? And suddenly an idea came to 492. He said, you need to divide me. So he told 248, because you are a smaller number, you divide me and we will find a way to find our HCF. So let us see how these two numbers found their HCF by dividing. So 248 needs to divide 492. This is the first step. So step 1 of this method is divide the bigger number by the smaller number. So over here the bigger number is 492 and the smaller number is 248. So I need to divide 492 by 248. So this is the divisor and this is the dividend. Now 248 goes into 492 one times. So if you check, you will see that 248 goes into 492 one time. So 1 is the quotient. And I write 248 here and I need to subtract this. So I get 4, 4, 2, 244 as the remainder. So this is what I get, 1 as the quotient and 244 as the remainder. Now how do I find the HCF from here? So I have divided the bigger number from the smaller number. Got 1 as the quotient and 244 as the remainder. So now what is the HCF? Well, for finding HCF, we need to divide further. What do we need to divide? So look at this remainder. Now you need to take this remainder as the divisor. And what will be the dividend? This number. The previous divisor will be the dividend or the number which is divided. So now 248 will be divided by the remainder. So the previous divisor becomes the dividend and remainder becomes the divisor. This is step 2. What is step 2? Divide the divisor in step 1, which is 248. So I divide 248 by the remainder of step 1. Which is the remainder of step 1? 244. So I divide 248 by 244. So very carefully understand this step. So firstly, the quotient, we don't have to do anything with the quotient. The dividend, previous dividend, we don't have to do anything with that. The remainder will now become the divisor. And what will be the dividend or what will be divided? The divisor of the previous step, that is 248 will now be divided by the remainder. So 244 into 1 is 244 and I subtract it to get the remainder 4. So this is what we have. So the remainder is 4. Now what do? Well, we repeat it. So now this is our remainder. Now this remainder will once again become what? It will once again become the divisor. So this remainder will become the divisor. And what will be the dividend? Previous divisor. What is previous divisor? 244. So 244 will become the dividend or the number which is divided. And what is it divided by? It is divided by the remainder. So continue dividing each step's divisor by the remainder obtained till no remainder is left. So in each step, the remainder which is left, it divides the divisor, not the dividend, because dividend has already been divided. So now this remainder will divide the divisor. So 4 will now divide 244. 4 will now divide 244. So now 4, first I take one digit, that is 2. 4 doesn't go into 2. So I take 24. So 4 into 6 is 24. So if I subtract this 24, I get a 0. But I need to bring this 4 down. And 4 goes into 4 one time. So this is a 4 and I subtract it to get 0. So this is what I have. So 4 divides 244. 4 into 61 is 244. 61 is the quotient. And what is the remainder? There is no remainder. So now what do we do? Remember, we divide in each step. We take the remainder as the divisor, which is 0 in this case. And we divide the divisor of previous step. But is it possible to divide by 0? No, we cannot divide a number by 0. So this means that I need to stop here because the remainder is 0. And in every step, I need to divide by the remainder. The remainder is 0. So I need to stop here. So the divisor of the last step is the HCF. So if you go on by this method, the divisor of the last step, which is 4, what is my last step? This is my last division. So I have done so many divisions. But which is my last division? This one. Which is my last divisor? 4. The divisor of the last step is my HCF. So over here, the divisor of the last step is 4. So 4 is the HCF. HCF of what? HCF of these two numbers. So the two numbers with which we started. So 4 is the HCF of 492 and 248. So this method of finding the HCF is called the long division method because you need to divide one number by the other number. Why is this method useful? This method is very useful for large numbers. So when you want to find the HCF of large numbers, if you try to prime factorize them, you will get a lot of prime factors and it will be very difficult for you. But if you go on by this method, then you can find the HCF of large numbers very easily. So how do we exactly do it? First, I divide the bigger number by the smaller number. Once I divide it, I don't do anything with the quotient. I take the remainder. In every step, remainder becomes the divisor. So see, this remainder is now divisor. It is dividing. What is it dividing? The divisor of the previous step. So 248. And once again I divide, get a remainder which now becomes the divisor. And this previous divisor becomes the dividend. And I stop when I get a 0 at the end. That is when I get 0 as the remainder. And what is the HCF? The HCF is the divisor of the last step. So the last division divisor is the HCF. So in every step, what is happening? Remainder becomes divisor. So divisor of this step is the remainder of previous step, and divisor becomes the dividend, or the number which is divided. So divisor is what divides and dividend is what is divided. So in every step, remainder changes to divisor, divisor changes to dividend. Keep on dividing till you get a remainder 0. So cross check using prime factorization that you actually get the right answer if you perform all the steps of this division correctly. So this method is very useful for finding the HCF of large numbers. Practice finding the HCF using this method and then cross check using the prime factorization method. If you like this video, then subscribe to our channel. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com to get all the learning resources as per CBSE, ICSE, IB, Cambridge or any other curriculum. Over 5,000 amazing lectures on maths, science, English and social science. Our unique interactive video technology keeps you engaged, and our iDictionary feature allows you to quickly revise any concept. Master each topic at your own pace with our adaptive practice technology and 1 million plus questions. Get instant answers and detailed solutions. Be exam ready by taking unlimited mock tests, performance analysis along with actionable feedback, personal tutors to resolve the slightest of your doubts. And that's not all. You can also win exciting prizes like PlayStations, iPads, watches, and many more, along with certificates through our Earn As You Learn program. So at DeltaStep.com, learning is not just fun and easy, it is rewarding too. So register for free now.